Hey Matt, we are in an A10 and we're going to try, this is like my third or fourth time trying this, to fly this thing to a base somewhere to the northwest of us here. So hopefully we can get the airplane started and get taxied and all this other good stuff. So it's been a pretty frustrating process. But let's get the battery on in the inverter. Come over here and we'll check these lights, make sure that the lights and all of our lamps, you see everything is illuminated, and we've got our audible tones. Go over here to our oxygen, set our oxygen regulator. Check that and make sure that the indicator does what it's supposed to do and that we get the audible tone when it gets low, and we do. And let's see, turn on, we'll go with our radios, we'll go to transmit, or on our transceiver there, and we'll turn, well, hang on, whoops. For our VHF, that needs to go over to main, so I just got to get my cursor over there. Switch it over to main, there we go. Now over here, we're going to turn on our boost pumps, we got 4 of them. And now we're going to turn on our auxiliary power unit. You hear it spooling up there. So we're just basically looking at our needles here. If you see the center needle right there, the APU turbines are spooling up. And once they equalize, we'll turn on our APU generator and our AC power. Here we go. So over here we turn on the generator and our AC power left and right. So now we're ready to start engines. So we'll just take the throttle there, that left throttle, flip that up out of the cutoff position. We'll look to the back here and you'll see that that left engine, that turbine is starting to spin. So we'll come back here, look at our instruments here shortly. Well, let's have a look outside real quick. And you can see that that left engine is starting to turn. I absolutely love the sound of a turbine spooling up. One of my favorite sounds in the world. So looking down here, we're checking our RPM gauge here. Our RPMs are going up. Master caution sound, so we'll turn that off. And as you can see, the that left engine has already spooled up, and it is now self-sustaining. So let's turn on turn our right engine on now. There we go. That right turbine is starting to spin. Let's look outside real quick. The hog, she's an ugly beast, but she's so ugly she's pretty. Alright, so that the right turbines, as you see there, they're spooling up. They should equalize here at any moment. There they go. Now they've equalized. So our engines are on. We'll turn off our AC power. Our generator power, I'm sorry, the APU generator power, and our APU. So now the engines are running on their own without any external power. So we've got some avionics that we've got to start up. Won't bother getting into all of the funky details, but that's our multifunction display. Our right one and our left one, we turn those on. And let's see, we'll come down here to our CICU and our IFFCC, turn those things on, and now we'll look up here at our heads-up display, and we'll see that it's ready to actually start its internal tests. You can also see that the left and right multifunction displays have switched on. So I hit my enter button here, and now the heads-up display is going to run through all of its startup scripts. So we'll get our left and right yaw and pitch SAS switches. We'll test our takeoff trim. And now, as you can see, there our MFDs have come up. It takes them a little while to actually get online. They have to, like, literally...
Pull up, pull up.
You know, there she goes. There's Betty.
Altitude, altitude.
Betty's testing the things that she would say to us if we needed to pull up or if our altitude was getting too low. So, we'll, let's see, I think we need to go over here. There we go. Go over here and hit our CDU button here. And that makes it so that we can finish the things that we need to do here, where you select our rocker down to the exit. Oops, went too far. We'll go ahead and click that, and then we'll go down here to our JTRS, or our Joint Tactical Radio System, and we'll, oops, nope, got to flip this on first. Now our heads-up display is where it needs to be. Let's see, what else do we need to do? Yeah, go to our TAD page. I hate it when I forget how this thing goes. Oh yeah, our steer points. Put our steer points on the flight plan. Then we'll head over here to our countermeasures. All of our countermeasures here, we'll switch those over to standby. And we'll flip our countermeasures on, all of our countermeasures here. Now our JTRS, our Joint Tactical Radio System, we'll flip that on. I want to say we have to go over here to CDU. Yeah, CDU, nav, and then we look over here and we should have our map on our, yeah, there we go. Our map is now on our left multifunction display. So we go over here, we flip our EGI navigation on, and flip on our, oh, come on. Sometimes that happens and I don't know why, Matthew. Let me move the yoke out of the way, the stick. I know we got everything right. At least I'm certain we do. Oh well. I can't figure out why that thing is doing that. There's nav, it's on. Oh well. Let's go over here to our radar altimeter. We can flip that on. One more. This thing still, I don't know why it does that. I really don't. Oh well. We'll go over here. We'll turn on our anti-skid. Anti-skid is on. I should turn on the landing lights, but we'll get to that. So anti-skid's on. One more try. Nope. Still doesn't want to work. And let's see. What else? I want to say we have to... Yeah, we got to arm our ejection seat. So, oh well, forget it. We'll just go ahead and taxi without it. We don't need it. So here we go. It's a little bit of a jog to get to the runway, dude. But oh well. Don't want to taxi too fast in this thing. We'll end up flipping it over. But I hope you're doing good, man. I just wanted to make another video for you. I've been wanting to make one for you for a while, so finally got the chance to do it today, seeing as how I didn't really go to work. Clouds have been so low, and I've got students doing other things, and it's just been not the best of days for flying. So figured I'd take today to make a video for you. I hope you're doing well. I think about you guys all the time, you and Jody. I think about Todd too. So I hope that you guys are doing well. I keep you guys in my thoughts and my prayers all the time. So yeah, we got a little bit of a jog, but nothing says we have to be in a hurry. You don't want to be in a hurry when you're flying an airplane. That's the last thing you want to do. That's when you make mistakes. So there's your beast. We'll go ahead and drop our flaps. We're going to need at least the first notch of flaps to help us get some lift on takeoff. So there we go. First notch of flaps are down. And as you can see, I taxi with my canopy open. I just do. I close my canopy when I get on the runway, but any other time my canopy's open. So as you can see, I'm scooting kind of fast right about now. If I were actually in my my Cessna 172, I would not be taxiing this fast. And if my students were, I'd be yelling at them at this point. Slow down! Well, there was a taxiway to our right that we just passed. I don't want to take that because that may not be enough runway. We'll use this one though. This intersection should give us enough runway for an intersection takeoff. So we'll get slowed down and we'll take this intersection right here. Alright, we'll come to a stop here shortly. We'll get closer to the runway. And stop here. So now let's turn some lights on here. We want to make sure that we're visible. And for some reason, I don't know why, but our anti-collision lights, turn on our formation lights, but our anti-collision lights, lots of times they don't want to stay on. I don't know why that is. It's annoying. So, whatever. We'll close the canopy though. And I think we're ready. Normally I would call and ask for permission to take off, but forget it. We're just going to go. Nothing coming that direction. That's the direction we're going. So we'll get that nose wheel nice and straight. There we go, and full power. Alright. Going down the runway now. Let's see, our airspeed is now alive. We can turn off our nose wheel steering. We're steering only with our rudders now. Accelerating through 120, we'll try and lift that nose wheel, get that nose wheel off the ground. And we should be taking off here any moment. There we go, we're off the ground. Let's raise those gear. There we go, gears coming up. And we'll get our flaps up too here shortly. There we go, flaps are up now too. So let's hang a right here. We're going to hang a right and just kind of head up the coast, and we'll do so low level. That's what this airplane is made for, is doing low level, high speed stuff. Well, not terribly high speed. The best this thing can do is like just over 300. Just over 300 knots is not very fast at all.
Altitude, altitude.
Yeah, Betty, we know. So yeah, we're going to head to a base. The base is up here just to our northwest. But let's just fly along the coast here and wake some people up. this apartment complex. People are probably in there sleeping. I don't care. Let's wake them up. Haha, surprise! Good morning! Don't mean to wake you. Yes, we do. Yeah, we'll wake these people up too. I don't know why I'm assuming it's morning. Let's see. Maybe we can do a little bit of mountain flying. Let's find some canyons to fly through. What do you think? Not that one. There's one. I like that.
Altitude, altitude.
Yeah. Shut up. We'll take this little alley right here at about our 1 o'clock. There's probably people in that mosque.
Altitude, altitude.
Scare the heck out of them. Sorry. Hang a left here. We've got plenty of speed, so we don't have to worry about that.
Altitude, altitude.
Betty, you're starting to annoy me. Let's see. Yeah, we'll head over this way.
Altitude, altitude. Pull up, pull up.
Shut up. We have to be a little bit careful, though, dude. I mean, as awesome as this airplane it is
Altitude, altitude.
hilariously underpowered. So you don't want to mess around and get caught up in a place where you need the power to get out of a canyon and you don't necessarily have it. So having a little bit of expendable airspeed can certainly help in a bad situation. Airspeed and altitude are pilots' friends, so I like having both if possible.
Altitude, altitude.
Let's hang a left up in here. I think we might have to climb a little bit because I don't know if this leads anywhere. Yep, and it doesn't. So we'll just climb. No big deal. And we're still doing
Altitude, altitude.
200 and I can't really tell. That's a little bit
Altitude,
far away,
altitude.
well over 200 knots in the climb, so we're fine. And we're climbing at over 4,000 feet a minute, 5,000 now. So no big deal at all. But the base that we're going to, once we actually crest the top of this mountain, is going to be just, I want to say at about our 11 o'clock, maybe
Altitude, altitude.
10 to 15 miles right on the coast. Let's see, it's up here. We'll be able to see it here shortly.
Altitude, altitude.
Oh, girl, will you please hush up? Yeah, let's have a look and make sure that we're on the right track. That's the base that we're heading to. Or is it? Wait a second. No. There we are. We're up here to the left. Yeah, that's the base. So it's right up here at about our 11 o'clock.
Pull up, pull up.
Yeah, that's one of the hazards of this particular simulation. When you go to the map, the airplane doesn't stop flying. You have to make sure that you leave the airplane in a very nice and stable attitude so as you're not climbing or descending, because you could come back to the action and be in a really bad way. So you have to be careful. Alright, like I said, the base is going to be right up here at about our 11 o'clock. We should be able to see it here very shortly. Actually, I think I can kind of see it now. I'll zoom in on it here in just a moment just to make sure. Oh yeah. That's it. I'm just trying to get the airplane kind of configured to land here. But the base is right there. So now that you see what I see, I got to get us slowed down. We're going really fast, so I'll make a turn here at idle power, and that should bleed off some energy. That'll help us get slowed down and get the airplane configured to land. That puts us on basically what would essentially be the downwind leg of this landing. We're still at relatively low power, trying to bleed off our energy. We're going to drop our flaps here very short. I'm sorry, drop our gear and our first notch of flaps so that we can get the airplane fully configured to land. There goes our gear. So there you can see our gears down, first notch of flaps. Now we're on basically what would essentially be our base turn, which is basically one more turn to final approach, to final. One more turn to final. Make sure we don't stall here. We're down to about 150 knots, and we want to make sure that we keep a little bit of airspeed going. Alright, we'll make this turn to final now. Now I think I may have made that turn just a touch too soon. Yep, I did. That's alright, we'll fix it. Keeping a little bit of speed in there. Like I said, when it comes to landing, I'd much rather be faster than slower and higher than lower, so. Alright, we're on short final.
Altitude, altitude.
Yes, indeed, we know. Short final, we know that our gear is down. We know that our flaps are completely down. I'm going to idle power now. Let's see, get the airplane in ground effect. Try and bleed off some of this airspeed. To the left of the center line. I don't like that. That was ugly. That was ugly. Well, hopefully I can get us stopped before before the end of this runway. This airplane does not like to stop once it lands. Alright, control wheel steering is on. So now I can steer with my rudders. Alright, we're slowed down sufficiently enough now to where I'm not terribly worried about it. There should be a taxiway here at the end of the runway here on the right. We'll take that. Slow down a little bit more. Don't flip us over. There we go. Once we get off this taxiway here, you know what I'm going to do because I always do it. Get clear of the runway and I'm going to lift my canopy. And there we go. Canopy's up. Flaps are coming up here shortly. There they are. Flaps are going up. Oops, make sure I don't roll off of the taxiway here like a moron. And I'm not terribly familiar with this base here, so there are parking spaces right over here. I'm just going to park over here next to these trucks. Or close to the trucks, at least. Yeah, somewhere over here. This will work. Heck, as far as I know, I could be on an enemy base. I don't know. I just landed. I don't care. All right. And I'll park us pretty much just right here on this line. And I'm not even going to worry about all of the big old shutdown stuff. I'm just shutting the engines down. I don't even care. Both engines shut down. Well, there you go. And you know what? I don't even care about a ladder. Let's get out of this airplane in style. What do you say? Ladders are for sissies. That's how you get out of an airplane, Matt. Boom. That's how you get out of an airplane. Well, dude, I hope you enjoyed the video, man. I'll make you another one here pretty soon.